What do you think? We think we can do this under an hour? The whole
Under
show?
an hour.
No, the whole show altogether.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was a pretty short interview.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, well, not the interview so much, but all right. You guys good?
Yes, sir.
Si, senor.
Hello, LG, and welcome to week 3. Oh my God! Fuck it, we're restarting it. That was awful.
English.
Drop that out.
English.
English.
You gotta have that. You gotta throw our bloopers in at the end, like the
Oh my no,
insider.
no.
Like
Fuck
30
that.
minutes of bloopers. How long did
Stupid.
you record, dude? Like Jesus Christ.
I know, right?
Uh,
Alright. Hello, LG, and welcome to the Week 3 recap of the LGHL Access. We have a very good show ahead for you guys with our lineup of the week, our top 10 power rankings, and an interview that I'm excited for everyone to see. I'm joined by my partners in crime, Kopitar and Maxwell. Welcome back, Maxwell. We missed you, though GB looked damn good in that Islanders jersey last week.
yeah. Is this mic okay for everybody? Is it good?
I don't know. Well, I think we'll have to look forward to something a little more classier in the interview. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, how's your weeks? How'd you guys do this week?
You can go first, Kopitar.
Well, Jersey is on the outside looking in now. We we tend to go 1 win, 1 loss every night. That's just when you're in that groove, it's hard to break it.
That's miserable. I hate
Myself included.
that.
Yeah. I went 3-0, but I only played 2 games. Had a big forfeit the 9 o'clock on Sunday. That was pretty awesome. I was pretty stoked about it.
Yeah. You know why?
But,
You know why you played in the forfeit, right?
They saw the name and they ran.
Well, no. A1 thought, hey, Maxwell's my weak link. I got to put him in the forfeit games.
Someone said a couple hours before that game they took their top line out or something, so I don't know if maybe they knew that they were going to forfeit. And then I think Knight quit that night or something.
Oh, it was
But
LA?
anyways,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez. I
Then
don't
we
know. Knight, he seemed like a nice guy, but if there was any indication of how he was going to do, he should have taken a look at the IHL. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I've had some people on that team that gave me a little insider on that.
and then we beat Minnesota in overtime and beat up on the lowly Vancouver Canucks 9-3.
Ooh, Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Nicky. He's trying. I don't know. A lot of money on good old Tanaka and Hones, but that's his team. All right, so let's get to the lineup of the week. We're going to start off with the East as usual. Maxwell's going to take this one away. Go for it, Maxwell.
No, he's not. I'm going to do that.
You're right. Kopitar is. Holy crap. I have been awful today. Go for it, Kopitar.
All right, so fair warning, if you're not a fan of the Islanders, you might want to turn this one off now. Are we frozen?
Yeah,
Bryson.
your mic's messed up.
Mine's messed up?
Yeah, your mic is messed up.
Oh, are we good now?
We are good now. Great. That'll be a great addition to the show. Go ahead. Take it away now. Let's try this a third time.
I don't know if I said anything, but I'll say it again. If you don't like the Islanders, you might want to skip this part. I think Bryson's going to sit back and enjoy this one. But first, all right, our left wing from the East on Montreal, I think we've got the young prodigy. He went 2-0-1, 3 goals, 11 assists, at a +6, 7 shots, and 2 hits. They had an 8-2 win against Boston. Close overtime loss to I think a pretty good Washington line, and then they beat my own Devils pretty easily, I would have to say. He looked like he had a pretty good week. And then now, after the lone Montreal man, we'll get into some Islanders here. At center, I tried to avoid as many as I could picking this line, but they just had a great week when not very many others did. So it's center. What's up?
A lot of big wins, a lot of points being put up.
Yeah. All right, center for the Islanders, the Bengal went 3-0. I think 9 goals, Yeah, 4 assists, 14 shots. He did only go even, but I think part of that was the 5 power play goals he put up this week. Also had a shorty. They had 2 pretty close games when beating Pittsburgh and Toronto, and then smashed poor Philly 10-1. Put up 8
Yeah.
points in that one.
Yeah, and Philly
That's
was
where
in
the point.
Philly was first in our division coming into that game, so pretty good way to take the division, I guess.
Yeah. So before I get into this, do these guys play on a line together?
Yes, they do. Yep.
Okay, so at right wing, his line mate Fio Tendi, also 3-0. Oh, whoa. He had 6 goals, 8 assists. This is Fio Tendi. Also even, same story as the Bengals, 16 shots, 16 and 14. So that's 30 shots between the two of them. Jesus. Also,
Before you go any further, I want to say that they generally play with mystery, and the guy hasn't lost a game in regulation. And I believe Mister was marked as cold or bench bait or whatever it was, even though he hasn't lost a game in regulation because he he doesn't get involved at all.
that's
So,
pretty crazy.
yeah.
He also, like the Bengal, had 5 power play goals. So that's 10 power play goals between just the two of them. That will definitely wipe out your plus minus for the most part.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll go back to defense here. I will like to say I looked very hard for some lefties here. But in the end, we are giving it to the man here, Bryson. Oh my God.
What can I say? Too good. Too fucking good.
He
God.
also, he had 4 assists, a +2, a little bit better. 3 shots, 7 hits. You played 2 of the 3 games with those guys, it looks like.
Yeah.
And your other game you played, you had a 2-1 win. Had no points in that one, so.
It was over
But still,
Carolina, I believe.
you wanna chime in on anything here before we move on?
Just, hey man, everyone thinks GB's the first line. Don't think so. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, big +2 coming out with that noise.
Well, hey,
All right.
I take advantage when others don't do as well, so there you go.
Fair enough, I guess.
Take a momentary break from that team. On right D, our man keeping the throne, I guess. I will say it's hard to getting in more weeks. It's hard to pick defense, and especially like points and all this stuff. It's hard to get a list together. But once again, I think I'm giving it to a pack of midgets. This time, I think he's off Arizona. Now he's on Florida. Different team, same story. He had a 2-0-1 week, 1 goal, 1 assist, +2. Stats-wise, not too overwhelming, but again, he's keeping Carolina to no goals. Little close, low-scoring games, so he's doing it all on defense without taking.
I don't think he's lost a game in regulation yet, right?
Nope, he's 8-0-1 on the season.
Wow, that's crazy.
He's been on our line every week. Not sure if he watches the show, but definitely having himself a season.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and goalie. Islanders, again, their 4th player here dominating this eastern line is Zarowski. 4-1, 85.2 save percentage, a 1.6 goals against average. And the stat I kind of liked, in his 5 games, he did face 54 shots.
He stood on his head this week.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
I actually want to say, being you're done with your line, your buddy Stick messaged Roski after the game saying, or in the chat box, Roski, you're unreal, and then he sent me a message on Xbox saying Roski is a god. So yeah, we needed him to step up big. He had a rough couple weeks to start, but he came up big. Um, I mean, and I think as much as I'd like to talk about my Islanders, I got to give it to Midgets, man. That guy is on fire right now. Besides some of these latecomers coming up in points, he's kind of got everything going for him right now. So if he keeps it up, be in those talks for Norris come into the season here.
Yeah, I gotta tell Stick to maybe get his hand in the fishbowl if he's getting traded around, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right, so I guess we'll send it over to Mr. Maxwell to do the West.
All right. For our left wing, we got Batman X17. Went 3-0 this week. 11 points, 5 goals, 6 assists, +4. They beat Colorado 2-1. A nice 7-2 win over Arizona, where he got 6 points, and then they beat Anaheim 4-3.
Safe to say we're going to see someone from San Jose every week on this line.
Yeah, he's 8-1 on the year.
Wow.
He's not doing bad.
Nope.
And at center, we got Minnesota's interim owner, Dutch MDK.
Master Dank. Get it right.
And he went 3-0 this week, also 11 points, 6 goals, 5 assists. He was a +6. Scored his 6 goals on 10 shots, which is pretty impressive. Doesn't have his face-off percentage, but he beat Dallas 1-0, Minnesota, or he is Minnesota, beat Chicago 6-3, and then in a high-scoring affair, beat St. Louis 6-5.
Wow.
He had 5 points twice, and then he had 1 point in their 1-goal game. So yeah, he's and as a team, he kind of turned it around from their very bad week last week.
Yeah, they needed that.
And then at right wing, we have the one and only, with a fascinating amount of numbers and random capitalized letters in his gamer tag. 3-0, 12 points, 3 goals, 9 assists. For a winger only taking 5 shots and 4 of them being in one game, for myself, I find that impressive.
That is pretty crazy.
It was a 5-4 win over the San Jose Sharks and a 7-3 win over Colorado, and a 1-0 win over LA. He doesn't have any points.
No points in that 1-0 game. Yeah.
I'm curious if that wasn't maybe a forfeit. Is that also, I believe, is Sunday, the 15th?
Not sure if forfeits would show up in there, so.
But if they did the stats wrong, if they didn't put him as DNS, but
yeah.
Moving on, making his, I believe, second or third appearance in the line of the week, but this time for the West, we got Gergs X28. Went 2-1 this week, 8 points, 3 goals, 5 assists. His 3 goals were on 3 shots. Was in a 8-5 affair, playing minimal defense against St. Louis.
Wow.
3-2 loss to Edmonton and a 5-1 win over Colorado. Had at least 2 points in every game. So for a defenseman to average around 3 points, it's doing something all right.
Him on Winnipeg, it seems like Winnipeg got their Trobby-Trobs back. Sorry, Gergs, didn't need you to compare you to Trobby-Trobs. I'm sure I'm going to hear that.
Yeah, and then at right D, we have IB Leaf X. Went 3-0. No more than 2 goals were scored. Beat my Predators 5-2. Beat Colorado 5-2, and St. Louis 5-1. Was a +8, so that's pretty big.
Yeah.
4 points, no PIMs. Managed to stay out of the box, which is pretty hard to do sometimes, especially playing defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing really well this season. 7-1-1. Dallas is doing well as a team.
Yeah, collectively.
And then Dallas's goalie. I'll let Bryson go ahead and give the name here. I'm not gonna
Kiatsu?
embarrass
I'm hoping I'm
myself.
saying it right. I said it that way last week, so.
Sure.
Yeah. What'd you say? What'd you say before the show? What were you gonna call him?
Oh, this the Jap between the pipes for Dallas. But yeah, he's 3-2 this week. 81.6 save percentage, 1.8 goals against, and his two losses were 2-1 to Winnipeg and 1-0 to Minnesota. So those games definitely couldn't be put on his shoulders. But then he faced a decent amount of shots as well, 49 for the week in 5 games.
Yeah, he
Uh,
was. His stats are insane. It's like all the other goalies. Like there was goalies with better records than him, but I mean, as Kopitar, keeping under a 2 GAA is not easy.
and an 80 save percentage just because you're not facing that many shots generally.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
yeah, that's the West.
all right, pretty interesting lineup. Islanders take over. We had the Sharks week 1. What was it? Ottawa week 2, maybe. Yeah, week 2 I think was Ottawa. So now my Islanders time. Let's see who's next week. You gonna get your
Not
Devils
much,
in here or what?
not
Come
much
on,
parity in the East.
Man, I don't know.
But all right, so that's it for the lineups of the week. Next, we're gonna have the interview with our 2 special guests. It was a very fast interview, but I'd have to say that I enjoyed talking to both of them. It was nice to finally get to know these guys and hear their story and see what they're all about. So I hope you guys enjoy the interview coming up. All right, take a little break.
Dude,
Take one over.
What?
Give me a second to drink some water here.
Okay.
I just do that mid.
What's that?
Sorry, I had to get up and let my cat out.
I didn't even see you do it, to be honest.
Cool.
Yeah, this one's weird. This hangout's in its own window. The other one was a tab in my other one.
Oh, really? I think you can drag it to a tab. No, you can't.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. It's just the last one I could go back and forth between it and my other tabs.
Right. I hover my mouse over the internet thing at the bottom, and I can see the
Oh
show
yeah,
itself at the bottom, and
yeah,
then I can read the Google Doc at the same time. So,
yeah.
okay.
I have
I got one of these Apple things.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's me.
like you guys at a bar on the top, and then I have everything underneath.
Wow, that's actually pretty fucking smart. I like that. I'm doing that right now.
Wow. Make it sound like he doesn't normally do smart things.
I don't.
Wow, that's so innovative.
Fuck you.
It's wild.
All right. All right. You guys ready for the power rankings?
Yeah. And then I'm sure you'll figure it out, but just because I didn't want all these taking up like 4 lines, just the NR is not ranked last week.
I wish I could combine my goddamn.
Okay. All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, for the end of our show here, we've got the Week 2 Power Rankings. First off, I'm gonna tell you who didn't make the Power Rankings that were in it last week. We're gonna start off with Columbus. They were number 10 last week. They had a 1-6-1 week. Not sure what happened, but man, no other way to put it. The record looks as ugly as I'm sure it looked in game. So. Number 9, St. Louis. They had a 2-4-2 week. They were at number 9. Struggled to score in games and struggled to defend in others. So looks like they've got problems on offense and defense. At number 8, I'm sorry, number 8. Yeah, Florida's up next, who was number 8 last week. They were 4-3-1. Struggled to score in some of the games. They had 2 losses. That was a 1-goal differential, 2-1 and 1-0. They did go 4-3-1 this week, which isn't all that bad, but they didn't make it into the top 10 power rankings. Next, we have Washington. Everyone knows the story there of what's going on. Some struggles there for Gadice and his team. Last week they were number 3. They had a 4-5 week, which, again, when you're struggling with, you get your GM fired and guys are wanting to get out. I guess 4-5 isn't all that bad. But yeah. I guess it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
And the last team that didn't make it that was in it last week was Dallas. They They had a very disappointing week after being so, what I could say is dominant. They went 5-4 this week, which again, not a bad record, but they had three of their losses came by one goal. So easily 5-4 could be 8-1, and they could be back on our number one spot. So, your thoughts on the teams eliminated so far, guys?
I know Dallas beat us tonight to go 5-4 on the week, but not that it's surprising. Switching quickly to Washington, once I heard all that stuff going down, I 4-5 is phenomenal for what all they were going through.
Yeah, we beat Columbus tonight, I think. So they actually went 1-7-1. So that's kind of a rough week. And then I think Dallas, they went, if I remember correctly, 8-1 last week. So now they're just a classic teams recognizing the 8-1, maybe giving them a little tougher ride. They still end up with a positive week out of it, though. I'm sure they'll respond well.
Yeah, one team I really want to comment on is Columbus, and this isn't trash talking or bad mouthing anybody on the team, but I looked at the roster coming into the season and thought, oh, they'll be an easy team to beat, but they started off the season really hot. Pretty sure they were second or third in our division, Kopitar, I believe. So yeah. So they really dropped off here. Maybe teams are just starting to take them serious now, and they face some good lines. I didn't look too much detail into that, but I'm willing to put some money on it that's what might have happened with them this week. But
yeah, I will say we kind of beat them a little easily tonight. I think they had their DeRosier, ball saddle, someone else line.
Was it Danny? Danny Retardable?
Yeah, Danny. And
that's their first line.
Yeah, we had an ECU and a mixture of players, but I will give a little shout out to CJ. CJ had a hell of a game.
Well, yeah, and he was gone for 2 weeks or a week for you guys, so I bet you guys are glad to have him back. Yeah, so I bet you guys are glad to have him back.
Yep.
All right, so let's get working on these power rankings. Take it away, Kopitar, for number 10.
All right, at number 10, last week we didn't have them ranked. This is the Montreal Canadiens. I think they had a 5-2-2 week. Decent bounce back week after a below average week 2. I remember they were on here week 1 after a pretty good week. Yeah, so they responded pretty well there. They had some high-scoring affairs with against Boston and Tampa, but then what I'm seeing is a lot of one-goal games also. So, just a couple overtime games that could have really given them a really strong week.
Yeah, their one-goal losses were to Florida, who just missed the power rankings this week, Washington, Buffalo, and a 6-3 loss tonight against Ottawa. So, I mean, the losses aren't bad, but the week could have been much better for the Habs.
Yeah.
All right, Maxwell, number 9.
All right, at number 9 we have the Philadelphia Flyers. Went 6-3. It's an all right week. I would say their week could have been a lot better if didn't have this big 10-1 blemish on it yesterday, thanks to Bryson and the boys. But yeah, they beat Ottawa. A lot of close games. Their other 2 losses were 3-2 to New Jersey and 5-3, 2 goals. Isn't all that bad. I mean, they're winning a lot of close games. Wow, actually, all of them are close except for the one against Pittsburgh tonight. But yeah, I mean, 6-3, take it.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to beat them that bad. I mean, they didn't have Bakes and net against us, who I feel is going to be one of the better goalies this season. Which is previously known as Scrivens. I feel like that's been a huge turnaround for them. And I don't know, I was kind of surprised to beat them 10-1. I think a lot had to do with it. One of their guys took a 7-minute penalty. He had a major and then had a slashing or a tripping right before it froze. So like There were 8 minutes left in the second. I think we like we said 5 power play goals, something like that,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure their goalie quit. So
Thanks to a rage A button, and you take a penalty, and you see those guys just slashing things.
hacking away like Paul
Yeah,
Bunyan.
freaking idiots.
Oh,
All right, yeah, Bryson, number 8.
All right, number 8. Last week they were number 7. Give it to Ottawa Senators with Killer Canadian and Bolton Rays. Uh, Ottawa had a pretty good week, 6-1-2. Only one regulation loss, which is nice. Lost to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had a good week though, so I can't say too much about them. Too much bad about Tampa Bay, that is. Um, yeah, I'm lost here. Okay, here we are. Their losses all were 1-goal losses. Tampa Bay, Philly, who Phillies was just mentioned, and Pittsburgh 5-4. Uh, we know Ottawa's got the offense, man. Just just it was actually absent in that Philly game. So I'm willing to bet if I click on this right now, I am going to see Scrivens in that game. And as my page loads up, I'm sorry for the delay. And
take this time to tell you.
wow, I was wrong. Loose 5-hole got it with 6 shots. So good defense by Philly in that one. But yeah, Ottawa's going to be on this list every week. I'm going to be surprised if we don't have them on here because they've got an awesome team, and they're definitely going to be a threat throughout the whole season. But,
Yeah, definitely gonna just outscore some teams for wins.
yeah, for sure. But number 7, take it away, Kopitar.
All right, number 7, the team you were just mentioning, having a pretty good week was Tampa Bay. We're showing 7-1. Couldn't find what happened in the Thursday game, but we did see that Rav, their center in the chat box, was saying how he rushed home to make it home for the game at 10 o'clock. And for those of you following along, the Thursday game is not at 10 o'clock. So I'm not sure what happened there. But other than that, they still went 7-1. They had a lot of close games. 3-2 win against Florida, 3-2 win against Toronto, 3-2 win against Detroit, 4-3 win against Columbus. So they're just all these 1-goal games. Their one loss was to Montreal. And I mean, we have them at 7, but if they did win that game tonight, they deserve definitely to be higher up there if the stats got in.
I think it's the Heimbecker effect. Teams turning around once the big call up of Heimbecker.
Yeah.
All right, Maxwell, number 6.
All right, at number 6 we got Minnesota. Last week they were not ranked. They were in our first one, but after their 2-win week in week 2, they fell out. But they're back with a new owner in place and a solid 6-2-1 week. They lost in overtime. Thanks to my goal to send it to overtime to the Nashville Predators. Scored a big ripper with like 30 ticks to go. The boys were pumped. And then they lost 3-0 to San Jose and a high-scoring affair, 7-5 tonight to Winnipeg. I guess Winnipeg's just saying fuck it to the defense this year. It's a lot of games, so they're just outscoring people. But yeah, well, Minnesota, a nice bounce back week. I see they've won a couple games by 1 goal, 2-1 over Anaheim, 6-5 St. Louis, 1-0 over Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
But
pretty good week for the Wild. I hate to see Sean go, but I guess things would be better with Dutch. People are gonna respond to him a little bit better than they will Sean.
Yeah. Both on his team and not on his team.
Yeah.
All right, Bryson, number 5.
Number 5, I got Winnipeg last week, not ranked as well. Big bounce back. They went 7-2. They had a big trade that landed them Gergs. Trying to think who else. Was it Scary Joey? Was he one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think
Deadliest
Lethal
Hobo.
Protege.
And Deadliest Hobo. I remember they sent that Sedin out. as
Yeah.
well, Canada's backup. So yeah, the trade, from what I can see, did good effect here for them. They some wins that I took notice to. They won 7-5 over Minnesota. Wasn't even the Spliff was playing in that game with liver damage.
Big
Uh,
shaker.
yeah, yeah, I think it was.
And Nuke.
No, Nuke wasn't playing. No,
Okay.
but they played against Poland, Dayman, lefty. What I consider a pretty good Minnesota line. So
Yeah.
yeah, 7-5 win over them. Another win I took notice to was 2-1 over Dallas, and I mean, not only is it a good team they beat, but they beat the Fig all in the hip DeCruz line
Yeah.
with Kiatsu and net, which one of Kiatsu's losses. So that must have been a really interesting game to watch. That had Nuke Bomb, Wonger, Liver, Gandhi. That probably would have been a interesting game. I look at this, and Dallas had 815 to 455 time on attack, but the shots were pretty even, so I guess it's quality over quantity in that one. And another big
Yeah.
win. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think we beat them this week 3-1, but I want to say they out time of attacked us, but they only took 3 shots.
Wow. What line was that?
Spliff and Nuke Bomb and Shaker.
Oh,
Or
okay, yeah.
liver damage.
Right.
Yeah, they just cycle it really well, and they're incredibly picky with shots.
hmm
That's interesting because Nukebon seems to be one of the people who shoots on me a lot. So I don't know.
Yeah. I just remember talking to Spliff after that game, and yeah, he wasn't really stoked about it, but
Yeah, those happen.
And another big win for them is over St. Louis, who St. Louis struggled, but Boz line picking up 8 goals against a pretty decent St. Louis team, but they didn't have their best lineup in. But just some of the notable wins they picked up this week.
Yep.
Kopitar, take number 4.
All right, last week they were at number 2. Coming back with another really strong week is the Sharks. Most of their losses come from 1 goal. They're scoring a lot. They had big weeks from some players. Hex had a pretty big week, and
Haxby.
also,
Haxby.
oh, are you sure? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're mixed up. I was already getting my mindset for this next little tidbit I found out. I was looking at Dolph Ween's stats, and I don't know if this is accurate, but in his little shutout against Minnesota, he had an assist.
Oh my God.
Nice little point for Dolph. So he went 4-0 with a 71 save percentage. So
and an assist.
what that's telling me is they're getting it done offensively, definitely enough to carry for the wins.
Dolph started the season pretty strong too, so
Yeah, he's got a formidable 14-3 record.
wow.
Yeah, so and 1.8 goals against. So the Sharks are definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Hmm.
All right, so Maxwell.
All right, at number 3, continuing to move on up. Last week they were number 5. I think week 1 they weren't even in here. Edmonton 6-2-1. We have them over San Jose, who has 1 more win, but they beat San Jose. So for that, give them the nod. They actually closed out the week with 3 straight losses: 5-4 to Nashville, 4-3 to Anaheim, and 2-0 tonight to Arizona. But yeah, their wins. The first game of the week, 5-4 over San Jose. They beat not Edmonton. They are Edmonton. Beat Winnipeg 3-2. 7-3 over Colorado. So yeah, I mean they're another 3-0. So they got a combination of outscoring teams and then some good defensive games.
hmm I'm looking at the 3 games they lost, and the one against Arizona, they had Rammerd was playing for his Coyotes, and
Mm.
beat them 2-0, shut them out, and that was the Figs line, which is not often you see Figs not getting at least a couple goals. Jay's line lost to your Predators.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
Bass and Dups.
yeah, and then Jay again lost to Anaheim against the Suter and Bree line. So they're facing good lines in their losses. So you
Yeah.
can't really down them for that if they're at least making the games close against the tough lines.
No, not at all. All right, Bryson, number 2.
Number two, I got your Predators there, Maxwell. They're on fire, man. They 7-2 this week, 12 in a row. Now leads the division Central. It was last I was checking. I think it was 14 out of 16 in their
Yeah.
last, starting with the overtime win against the Islanders last week. Their only 2 losses were against Dallas tonight, which, hey, Dallas is a solid team, so not too much of a surprise for them to have some problems there. But the one game that does quite bring up questions is against Colorado, 7-1, where Freak was playing with J Rock
Yeah.
Brenzy on defense. Maybe just an off game, or maybe Big 50 came to light him up and show the league how dominant of a center he is. But yeah, Nashville looks good. Good for A1, man. They've got a solid team, and uh, seeing where they ranked last week, they were number 6. I'm pretty sure they were ranked the week, but I'm pretty sure they were ranked every week for us. So they've
Yeah.
been pretty consistent. Good for A1 and Bass and all the boys on your squad. So what do you got to say about your boys on Nashville there, Maxwell? Let's hear some.
I mean, we're we're doing all right. We've 7-2 the last 2 weeks. Lost both games last Sunday, so like you said, 14 out of 16. And before we lost, whenever it was, this Wednesday, it was 12 in a row.
Hmm.
So I mean, yeah, we've faced some pretty good lines along the way too. So
Good
we're
to
doing
see.
what we can.
It's good to see all 3 of your lines are clicking. So it's always a good feeling.
Yeah, it's good to know you have a chance going into every game.
Yeah, yeah. Kopitar, number 1.
Well,
In case
all
you
right,
couldn't get
coming
enough.
up number 1 this week. I guess it's kind of obvious after going through that Eastern line of the week. We got your Islanders here. Last week they weren't ranked. This week they're pulling out an 8-1 record. I think they've won 12 out of their last 13. Seem to be really lighting up some teams.
Yep.
I saw your could have been a perfect week, right? Your only loss was a close one to the Columbus, who didn't have themselves too good of a week.
Yeah, I think that's their
Columbus
only
is
win.
one win.
Yeah, that's
Columbus
their
is
one win.
Oh, we got to
And I
dock them.
just shit talked them the beginning of the show. So,
Yeah.
That's,
All right.
that's
We'll
rough.
do this.
yeah, well then that's the ball saddle Danny DeRosier line that we played tonight.
Yeah,
So and then you had Carl Dashy and Crosby, Passenger, Blainer, and the Darg.
yeah. I
Uh,
thought.
Crosby.
I thought the boys could get done that game. I mean, hey, they got outplayed, man. Columbus deserved that game. Outshot them 12-9. Out time and attacked them. So, our only loss was definitely well deserving for that. That's for sure.
Yeah, you seem to be the Islanders seem to be keeping teams to pretty low scores. 1 goal against Carolina, 1 goal Philadelphia, 1 goal Pittsburgh,
Hmm.
1 goal Devils. There's that again.
Yeah, we already talked about that one. I mean, Roski's been playing unbelievable. 5-time had a rough couple weeks, but he's even played a much better week. So yeah, this our team really relied on Roski, and you could see it in the beginning of the weeks how important he is to the team, and good to see him bouncing back, helped the team out a lot.
Yeah, he's got good numbers, good record. What happened? His stats kind of look like mine, where he's got a lot of 1 goal games, no shutouts.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I hear it from him. Oh, that goal was awful. That should have never went in.
Yeah, it's just the 1 goal that squeaks by him. Yeah, I know. I live through it every day.
I believe it was the Carolina game. We beat them 2-1, and Darg poked one in on him and ruined his shutout. So he was pretty livid about that. So, but yeah, pretty good week for the Isles. Hopefully
Yeah, the only game let in more than 2 goals was against Boston. That was 5 times. So
Oh yeah, Yeah, that was that wasn't. What was the name of that? It was a bowl game, actually. I don't know if either of you heard about this, but if Carl lost that game, he had to get nudes of his stripper sister for the Boston team if they lost.
Oh,
It was a serious bet, yeah.
that's putting it on the ropes there.
But
Wow.
it was the Lan Moran show that game. We ECU'd him that game, and he definitely lit it up. It was
What a
pretty.
luxury that is.
Yes, it is. But
Did they change the rules so you can't do that in playoffs, or was that only proposed?
I think it's still. You know what? I don't know. That's how great of an owner I am. I'm not even familiar with the rules, so
What are
I'll have to.
rules?
I'll read up on that when we get closer to playoffs.
I remember reading it, and I'm not even AGM now.
Ooh,
I'm loving the no
Whoa!
get
responsibility.
get it
Wow.
revoked.
Now,
Coffee
what's
said to
next?
do Coffee offered to do stats every once in a while. I'm like, you know what? You take it away.
So what's next? Being traded?
Yeah, I think
Or,
could be in the talks, huh?
oh wow! Imagine what a
Those are
blockbuster
the
deal that would have
stages.
to be.
AGM removed, AGM gone.
Yeah, it's normally just happens. If no one can afford your salary, you might be falling through waivers like best kept hush. What was he like 6 million a couple
Yeah.
seasons ago or something? Oh my
I'd,
god.
I'd love to be in the AHL. I love the AHL.
Yeah, I can agree with that. If I wasn't having a good time being an owner, I'd definitely consider that. But
You
How
could be
about
like
Raps?
Jeff.
what's that?
I said he could be like Jeff, thinking he played a
Yeah.
great game, giving up 7 goals.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, I guess we should kind of include everyone on that story. Jeff messaged Maxwell saying, "I played a great game in the AHL, allowing 7 goals. I'm not sure how that makes any sense at all. I'm still trying to figure that out."
Oh my god.
I can kind of side with that. I don't know about great, but sometimes you'll face like over 20, 25 shots, and they're all odd man. It's just a shit show, and you're making big saves, and you're not gonna save them.
But you know what? I'm going to look at the game now. That's how
Yeah.
curious I am to see how many shots Jeff faced. Who would have thought an NHL show is featuring some AHL nub? You know what I'm saying?
AHL nub. Oh, he
That
plays
looks.
for the Oklahoma City Barons.
Yeah, I'm
No
looking.
stats yet.
Oh, no stats. They're killing me here.
Wow.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess we'll continue that or just let it hang out to dry.
Yeah, we'll give you an update next week.
Yeah, we'll give you an update. Uh,
Only. Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah, okay. All right. Well, that looks like that concludes the show. Yeah, we need a guest, as always. Every week it seems like we're searching for a guest. So if you're interested, just send me a message. You know, like this week didn't have to be management. It was two guys top of the points leaderboard. So it's always good to see different faces. So message myself, or actually just message myself. We won't have Kopitar next week, so no pretty face to look at next week. You got to look at me and Maxwell.
Yeah, and you don't have to come dressed with formal attire either. You can come casual.
Yeah, that they set the standards high, man. I'm not sure if anyone can beat that. I'm expecting like an oversized hat or something crazy next week. That's what I'm
That
looking forward
that
to.
did blow me away.
Yeah, I almost had to change. I felt so underdressed. But yeah, all right. So that wraps up the week 3 episode of LGHL Access. I thank you, Kopitar and Maxwell, as always. It's always a pleasure doing the show with you guys.
I enjoy it, just like I enjoy you.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.